Hey guys, so it's October and Halloween is right around the corner. I want to show you some very simple, very cool to do paranormal activity pranks that you can pull on your friends and family. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, for this first prank, I'm going to teach you guys how to magically break a light bulb while it's in the lamp. Now this is something I did in my original paranormal activity prank, so I'm going to share it with you guys. So what you're going to need is one light bulb. You can use one of these or one of these, it doesn't really matter. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to stick with this one. What you're going to do is you're going to go outside, you're going to take the bulb, and you're going to carefully break it, but you want to break it to where you're able to kind of keep a big chunk of that glass. Now keep in mind, there is a little bit of mercury inside of this bulb, and once you break it, it's going to turn into vapor. So be very, very careful with that, but break it, just kind of leave it outside for, a good 30 minutes and then come back and retrieve the bulb. Once you're done breaking it, you're going to put the bulb and a big chunk of glass aside, and we're going to move on to the next part of the prank. Alright, next thing you're going to need is a nut, one keychain ring, and some fishing line. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to take your fishing wire and you're going to measure it from the lamp you're going to use all the way over to the position that you're going to sit in. Now keep in mind, you do want to have the lamp close to the sofa because you're going to run that fishing wire right behind it. Now you're going to take your nut and you're going to tie the fishing line through it. Then you're going to take the other end and tie the keychain ring. Okay, once you're done, you're going to put the nut underneath the lamp and then have the O-ring kind of near you on standby. Next thing you want to do is screw in the light bulb, and right on top of it, you're going to put the big chunk of glass. Now what you want to do is with the big chunk of glass, you want to put it to where just a little bit of movement is going to make it fall. Now once you got everything in a position, you're ready to go. So what's going to happen is you're going to pull from your end, and basically that's going to dislodge the nut, and that's going to make the lamp move. And you're going to get this awesome illusion of the lamp just breaking, and basically they have no idea what just happened. So in real time, this is how the prank looks like. Oh no, there's a ghost. Crap, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Dang it. Oh. That's a lot of glass. Alright, for this next prank, I'm going to show you how to make candles blow out by themselves. Here's how that looks like. Alright, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need one candle to do the prank with, and you're going to need another candle to extract the wick from. Okay, so you're going to put this aside for now, and you're going to take the other candle, and what you're going to do, and by the way, you can actually use any candle. What I'm using right now, I think I call, what are they called? Tea lamp? Or no, tea light candles. So these are easier to use. Again, you could use really any candle. You just really need the wick. That's all you really need. And what you really need is probably ½ an inch of wick. Take a pair of scissors and just cut it off and just keep that aside. So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your prank candle, and basically you're just gonna poke a small, sort of a deep hole, enough for the wick to basically go in. So once you got that hole in, you're gonna just take the wick and place it inside. Now you want to kind of keep it just a little further away from the real wick, but usually what I do is kind of have the original wick kind of bent like that, so this flame will not be touching that wick at all. So once you've placed your wick in, you're going to obviously light it on fire. Just like that, come on. Done. Okay, so basically you're going to place this in a position. Obviously you're going to put this where you're able to, or your person that you're pranking is able to see this. Now keep in mind, you don't really want to do this with one candle. It's a much better illusion if you use like multiple candles, because if it's one candle, it might just be a thing where like, oh, maybe the wick wasn't that strong. But if it's like multiple candles, then that's just kind of weird. So multiple candles is really the best way to go. Alright, so have fun with this one, and be careful, you are playing with fire here, so you don't want to get burned. Alright, on to the next one. For this next prank, you're going to convince people that you have psychokinesis power. This one's my favorite, so let's get into it. So I kind of forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video. If you are going to do a series of paranormal activity pranks, then this is a very good first prank to do, because this is kind of like, it's kind of like the warm-up, this is gonna really get their minds kind of like working and try to, you're gonna try to convince them that maybe there is something going on in the house. So this is definitely a good I call it like an icebreaker to begin with. So here is how the prank's gonna look like. Alright, in order to do something like that, you are gonna need a very powerful neodymium magnet. Now, you can buy neodymium magnets at like a Home Depot, Lowe's, any sort of craft store, but you're gonna get like the smaller kinds. That's not really gonna work. What you're gonna need is a very big one. Now, I'm not gonna take it out. This is kind of wrapped in some sort of elastic band, which you're gonna need, by the way. But something like this, you can actually buy these offline. So get something that's relatively strong. I know they come in numbers. I can't remember if like 10 is the highest, but you really do want something that's very, very powerful. So this is kind of the size of my neodymium magnet. I think it's like, gosh, I want to say it's like two inches across, 2 by 2, 2 inches width and height and everything. So you want to get that. And then what you want to do is grab an elastic band. You can also use one of those like iPad armbands. That actually works out as well. And basically you're going to take this and put it around your leg. So now that you have the magnet strapped around your knee, you're going to basically set up like this. You're going to sit cross-legged and you're going to have the leg with the magnet sitting on top. And you're going to try to get that magnet close to the underside of the table. And you guessed it, this is actually how it works. So it's going to be something like this. Let's go ahead, see right there. Isn't that crazy? So you can literally just kind of move it across. And the crazy part is, you don't really need a lot of movement, you know? You can have people kind of come over, wave their hands. There's no strings involved, and that's the crazy part about this. So let's say you are at a dinner table, and you're eating, with a fork, and let's say you just put the fork down, and all of a sudden, you can make it move just like that, Very, very simple. And again, just a little bit of movement, from your legs, but it should be very, very subtle. Same thing with the scissors, Let's say you're doing some sort of, truth or dare, boom, you can make a spin, or boom, right there. So you can point it towards you. So a little side note, you really should do this on a table, like a dinner table, because you have more of a surface area. You don't really want to do this on like a bar area or like at a coffee table or something like that. You want to do this where, there's a lot of different objects on the table and there's a bigger space. Another note is that you are working with a very strong magnet. Be very, very careful with this. You don't want to put this like near your cell phones or like your credit cards, because they will erase your credit card. So be very careful of that. And you don't want to put this near like hard drives, computers, whatever the case may be. This is super, super easy to do. I have a lot of fun with this, and this really, really fries people's minds. So again, just a couple tips. Keep the magnet near your knee. Keep it as close to the underside of the table as possible, but a little bit of movement does the trick, okay? Just look just like that. Bam. Alright, so like I said, have fun with this, and let's move on to the next one. Alright, for the next set of pranks, it's going to involve a Bluetooth speaker. Now, don't underestimate the power of the Bluetooth speaker. I'm going to show you 3 effective but very spooky pranks you could do with it. For the first one, it's going to make it seem like somebody rang the doorbell, but when you get to the door, there's not going to be anybody there. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your phone, record audio of a doorbell. Once you do that, convert it as an MP3. You're going to take your Bluetooth speaker and hide it kind of near where the actual doorbell is located. And once you get everything set up, you can be somewhat nearby. Maybe you're outside the house or indoors, and all you need to do is play that audio of the doorbell, and it's gonna spook some people out. For this next one, you're gonna convince people that a cup shattered in the cabinets. What you're gonna need to do is you're gonna record an audio of glass shattering, or you can go online and find an audio of glass shattering. Then you're gonna take a cup that you don't really care about and you're gonna break it, but keep all the shattered pieces of glass. Once you do that, you're gonna take your cup with all the glass, put it in the cabinet, put all the scattered pieces all around, and then you're gonna take your Bluetooth speaker and hide it kind of nearby. Again, once you're all set up, when the time is right, you're gonna play your audio, and it's gonna seem like the glass just shattered, and when they open the door, they're gonna see that there is a cup shattered. And the last one, and this one is my favorite, you're gonna convince people that the piano played by itself. So for this, you're gonna record a couple different piano notes onto your phone, and then you wanna hide the Bluetooth speaker somewhere near the piano. Now as a subtlety, if you wanna really spook them out, unplug the piano. That's gonna really freak them out. Once that piano plays, they're gonna try to figure out how that piano played by itself, but they're gonna see that the piano is unplugged. And that's just 3 simple but very effective ideas you can do with the Bluetooth speaker. You can also do this with a lot of different things, like banging on a wall, voices. Those are really the obvious ones, but something like a doorbell ringing, glass shattering, a piano playing by itself, that's like really freaky stuff. So trust me, this works. I've done this plenty of times on people and it really, really scares people. Enjoy this one. Alright, for this next prank, I'm going to show you how to magically pop a balloon by itself. Alright, for this prank, I'm going to show you how to magically make a balloon pop by itself. Please don't pop in my face. Here's how that looks. Alright, what you're going to need, you're going to need a couple of balloons, a helium tank, and you're going to need some Goo Gone. Now the Goo Gone, you can actually get this at any auto store or even like a Walmart, Target. They usually carry this. Okay, so you're going to take one of your balloons and you're going to fill it up with a lot of helium. You don't want to put just a little bit of helium. You want to make this to where it feels like the balloon's going to pop, because you want that latex as stretchy as possible. That really, really does make a difference here. And basically the secret to making the balloon pop is with the Goo Gone. All you have to do is apply a good amount of Goo Gone onto the balloon, wait a couple of seconds, and it will pop. Now the thing is, you can kind of play with the timing of this. If you want something, if you want the balloons to pop, you know, in an instant, you can apply a lot of Goo Gone. If you want something where it takes about 30 seconds to a minute, you can apply a little bit of Goo Gone. It really just kind of depends on your preference. Now I purposely got the spray bottle because this is much easier. The thing is, like, when my victim is not looking, I could come over, spray the balloons and everything, and then hide this, and then, you know, wait for the balloons to pop. And as I mentioned before, if you're trying to do like a series of paranormal activity pranks, this is good for like, you know, like the very first night. You know, another side note is that you don't want to just do one balloon. That's not really, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's really gonna get, you know, a startling reaction, but doing multiple balloons is what's really gonna get them. And something like this, you know, some of you are probably asking, why am I gonna bring balloons into my house? If you were having like a Halloween party, you could have like black, this is not black, but this is like navy blue, black, orange, yellow, Halloween colored balloons, and you could kind of bring that in for decorations, you know, really kind of, you know, have the theme of Halloween and everything, and you could bring these balloons into play. But, you know, if you really want to freak somebody out, this will freak them out, because balloon popping, it scares the crap out of me, and it's going to scare a lot of people. So, hope you guys enjoy this one. Alright, so this next one, I'm going to show you how to make the lights turn off by itself. Now, this is something I did in my original paranormal activity prank, so I'm going to share it with you guys, and this is how it looks. Alright, so I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can pull this off. Here we go. So the first method is basically using a smart bulb. I know, it's simple, and you can actually get some really cheap ones out there. I know Lowe's has some that are fairly cheap, and you can connect it through your smartphones and everything. So that's something where you can take the bulbs, screw it on top of the you know, your ceiling lights, or if you want to get a little ballsy, you could put it in your lamps. But I feel like with the lamps, if you place it in and do the prank, the person you're pranking will come over and see it's a totally different light bulb, and you don't want to, you know, get them suspicious. So my recommendation is putting it up in the ceiling lights. That's the easy way of doing this, and you know, this is more of a costly sort of thing. I'm going to show you a more cost-effective way of doing it, and actually this doesn't really cost much of anything. So the second way to do this is pretty simple. So what you're going to do, and the great thing about this one is you can actually get the light switch to actually come down. So you know, with the smart lights, that's not going to be really an option. So even if the lights go out with the smart bulbs, the switch is still going to be up, which is going to be kind of weird. But something like this is going to bring that switch down. So what you're going to need is some fishing line. Again, that's it. It's that simple. Some fishing line, and at the very end, you're going to kind of tie almost like a knot, like a slip knot, And what's gonna happen is you're going to, and one other thing you're probably gonna need is like some towels or something in your hands. You can also have this to where, you know, you can kind of have this hidden, but in a second you're gonna see that you will need to set this up very, very quickly. So here's how to set up for the prank. You're gonna wait for your victim to sit in the perfect position where their back is turned towards you. Then you're gonna come over with your fishing wire with the loop, set it up onto a switch, put some tension on it so it doesn't fall off, go into whatever room that you're gonna execute the prank in, close the door, and when you are ready to turn off the lights, all you need to do is tug down, and that's going to shut the light off. Now the great part is, once you do that, the loop, the fishing wire is going to actually fall off the switch, and so the way to clean this all up is you just need to reel the fishing wire back into the room that you're in, and once they look around, they're not gonna figure out how that was done. So this one, have fun with this one. This one's gonna, it's gonna probably scare the crap out of some people. Yeah. Alright, for this prank, I'm gonna show you how to make a scary message pop up on a foggy mirror. This guy has nothing to do with the prank. Alright, here's what you need to set up the prank. First, you're gonna need some Rain-X or either rubbing alcohol. And for a third option, you can also use anti-fog solution. Next thing you're gonna need is some Q-tips or some cotton ovals. I would suggest the cotton ovals because you can make the message much more larger. Once you got everything, you're gonna take your Q-tip or your cotton ovals and you're gonna dip it in either the Rain-X or the rubbing alcohol. And then you're gonna write whatever message you want on the mirror. So the next time your victim jumps out of the shower, they're gonna see a very interesting message. Alright, have fun with this one. Alright guys, for this next prank, I'm gonna show you a way for your victims to feel like they're getting touched on the back of their head. Here's how that works. Alright, before we get into the setup, here's a couple things we need for the prank. First, you're gonna need some duct tape. And secondly, you're gonna need some elastic and visible thread. Now this you can get at magic shops or even online. But since this is a little hard to see on camera, we're not gonna use this right now, but we're gonna use some fishing line for demonstration purposes. This is a little bit easier to see on camera. Alright, let's get into the setup. Alright, in order to do this prank, you're gonna have to do it sitting on a couch. So basically, your victim's gonna sit either here or here, doesn't really matter, and then you're gonna sit on the, kind of on the opposite end. Okay, so you're gonna cut the thread to the same length of the couch. You're gonna wrap one end with a piece of duct tape, and you're gonna wrap the other end with the other piece of duct tape. You're gonna take one end of the thread and stick it on one side of the couch, and you're gonna take the other end and stick it on the other side of the couch. Now it's important to set up the thread on top of the couch, not on the side. Alright, once you're all set up, this is how you do it. Before your victim sits down, you're going to place a thread on top of your head. That's going to be your get ready. Alright, once your person sits down, this is the way to make it feel like they're getting touched on the back of their head. So all you have to do is move forward with the thread on top of your head. Once the person feels the thread, you're going to nonchalantly brush the thread back into position. Since this is invisible thread, when they look back, they have nothing to see. So before doing this prank, practice, practice, practice. I cannot stress that enough because invisible thread is very tricky to work with. No pun intended. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed those pranks. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. And if you're going to use one of them on your friends or family, let me know as well. Now I do understand this is kind of a different video on my channel, so if you guys like more of this type of stuff, let me know down in the comments below. Also don't forget to like, favorite, and share this video on social media. And it'd be kind of cool if we could get this video to 30,000 likes. And if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So again, have fun with these pranks, have a happy Halloween, and I will see you guys next time.
Hello! Oh! Where are you going? Hey! Hello! Yo! Am I that ugly?